we purchased this county line compact manure spreader. It is brand new, but it looks used. So I'll explain that. With COVID and everything, you still cannot get anything. And us being so close to the city of Pittsburgh, our tractor supplies and that don't handle too much farm and agricultural stuff because there's not a whole lot of property in this area. So we drove to East Liverpool, Ohio to pick this unit up, and it's kind of like a little hobby toy. Obviously, whenever we get our full-blown horses and fence and pasture up, we're going to get a bigger unit. I looked into, I think ABI is one of them. If any of those guys watch this video, they have awesome equipment, just very expensive. You're talking $6 grand just to get your feet wet on a manure spreader from them. But this here, I believe it was right around $1,300. We drove almost an hour to get there, and then whenever I showed up, I was a little bit disappointed of, you know, how it was rusted and everything. So I went to the manager and, you know, I said, this said it was new online, and he ended up knocking some money off. And then they're giving us a wheel too, because one of the wheels is rotted through in the back. But we tried this thing out, and it's actually really cool for as cheap as it is, and the quad pulls it perfectly. So I'm gonna go load this thing up, and we'll do a little demonstration of how this thing works. And maybe someone that has a small, this is good for about 3 to 4 horses, they said. So if you have a small setup like we do currently, this might be perfect for someone to purchase. You can buy online, but unfortunately you have to pay for shipping. So that's why we were so adamant about taking this older one. So we ended up getting it for about $1,100 because we're tax exempt. We didn't have to pay sales tax on it. So it was well worth it for us. So we'll do a little demonstration here, and you can see how it works. Okay, we got it all loaded up here, and that's one of those big double barrel wheelbarrow loads of manure. So it didn't even quite fill it all the way up, and it was a perfect height. I just wheeled it right up to the back of it and dumped it in. And you can see the barn way up there. So I come down this path. I was doing somewhere around 10 to 15 mile an hour, and it pulled it just fine. So it tracks pretty good behind the CF Moto. And to engage these wheels, because it works off the drivetrain here, there's these pins, and if you kick them in, you could see that locks both sides in. Same with this one. This pin here goes over and locks in, and then it spins that barrel. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of this on the field here. You can see a lot of it's green, but we got some bare spots through here that this never took from whenever in previous videos we did that field restoration, because the old field used to look like all that growed in with, I believe it's called privet and other types of bushes. So eventually one day we'd like to pull some hay off these fields. It just doesn't make sense financially to do anything now, because it wouldn't be very good quality. So we're gonna get moving on this and show you how it puts it down. See it sprinkling out of the bottom there. Puts out a nice even layer there. So this is what's nice about it, is this obviously is not good quality soil through here. That's why the grass isn't growing. So if we keep bringing all of our manure to these bare spots, hopefully this will start growing in a little bit better. But you can see I only went about 40 feet, and it's made a nice even trail, and that barrel on the bottom there grinds it up, so it breaks down and starts to compost a little bit faster. I set the camera up down below so you can see how that works. Grinds it out there. some of the reviews we watched online is some people complained about how this gets caught up here. So every once in a while they say you gotta push this down a little bit and make sure that you get it in so that tine thing there can mulch it up a little bit. You can see all the dark spots where the manure was spread, and you can see the light spots. So all in all, we're pretty happy with everything we have going on here.